What's up, YouTube? My sister took the goddamn camera, so now y'all gotta deal with a darker video probably. I don't know. I apologize. Blame it on her ass. Anyway, controlling the metabolism and controlling digestion. This is a responsibility that we have given up over the years. Again, like with any responsibility, you remember that you have to. You remember that even giving it up, you still are in control of this responsibility. So when we're talking about that, talking about as far as controlling your metabolism, is no different from someone eating garbage when they're younger, and then they get to a point where they get to know themselves and they have to cook for themselves, and then they realize what's good for them and what they have to control. But some people never afford this space for themselves. Again, space tells more than time. Because if you can carve out space for yourself, or you have space for yourself, then you can find out what works with your chemistry and what doesn't. If not, then sometimes you'll never even find your own desire. You never even know yourself because you're constantly influenced. You're constantly exfluenced. All this is constantly bombarding you, and it's hard to decipher sometimes. But if you can afford space, it doesn't really. Sometimes time isn't. Again, time is suspended in that sense when you have space. Because if you have space, you can really get with self, and you can really find out what you want. So when you're relieving yourself of this responsibility of controlling the metabolism, it's just like when you take it back. It's no different from when you take it back to be like, look, I'm not gonna eat candy and pizza. I'm a grown person. I'm gonna eat what's best for me and most affordable and all that type of stuff. Whatever makes sense, practicality, all that. I'm including all factors here. Just saying, once you get to a point where you are adulterated and you're an adult, and you realize, like, look, I'm so damaged from what I was doing. I gotta get back to myself because I can't be just loose like that. So it's taking the responsibility back. Again, when it comes to diet and control, you want to go from good decisions to God decisions. I'm leaving it at that, really. You want to ingest instead of digest, because we look at it, let's break it down. Gestation, the forming of a thought, really. You break it down like gesture or jest, like a movement, to put an act into movement. It's putting a thought into movement, pretty much. So gestation is you as a thought before you were thought of. When you are thought of, when you connect with the conduit you come to via thought, and you get there, you manifest, and you begin the gestation process. You're more so. You got to realize that you are more so a thought. So N-Gestian, more so like in, as in the 5. We're talking about the N. So N being the 5, the 5-pointed star, the 5 elements. We look at it, even look at Starbucks. Starbucks is, y'all are digesting Starbucks. Starbucks is ingesting. They got us with the 5. Look at the crown. Count. Look at what you're really looking at. See what you're looking at here. So N, the 5, the N-Gestian. You're taking in whole, all 4 elements and the ether. Complete gestion, to bear. Because you're bearing. That's what it is. Gestation period, you're to gest is to bear. So you're bearing, if you that's what you're doing. So if you are ingesting, then you're bearing life or holism, peace. If you digest, then you bear death. You see what they do to me? You see how they hit me with the vacuum? They take the camera from me. This is what you got to go through when you're on a different frequency and you're trying to. It's just like I can't even speak to them yet because I'm on a different radio. I'm on a totally different tune to where I got to speak to who I have to speak to through these inlets and outlets. These things that I'm doing, the way I do it, the way I communicate through people in all different ways, in all different layers. So don't get frustrated with it, man. Just know it's a responsibility that you got to keep, that you have to keep to yourself, really. So, yeah, that's what it is. Ingestion over digestion.